understand some of the wars that are going on right now. Did you support them at the time? And what's your stance now on how the Obama administration has kind of changed the focus for Afghanistan?
Sure. As far as being, it's always difficult to look back at something. I probably, if I would have been confronted with the same level of intelligence that the folks in Congress did when the wars began, I probably would have agreed with the actions in Iraq and Afghanistan. It's very difficult to know, though, but I do feel that it's a vital part of Congress's role to make sure that they double-check the facts. And they need to make sure that the intelligence that they're given is accurate. Certainly, they should not give a president a blank check to go to war. It would be an issue that I would take more seriously than almost any other vote, because you're dealing with people's lives here, not just our men and women in uniform, but those in the countries that we would be traveling to. I do feel that the surge was the right thing to do in Iraq. We've seen the result. It's been a good result, and it's something that probably should have been done much sooner. And if we would have listened to the troops on the ground, many of the generals were telling us we needed more forces early on to have a sustained effort with minimal casualties. In Afghanistan, I do support the president's move to increase the number of troops in Afghanistan. I do not support any arbitrary timeline, however, and we've heard some talk of that. I think it's most important that we watch for conditions on the ground, and we can't simply say by March 31st there will be a desired outcome. We all know that things change on a daily level, even in our own country, so we cannot predict necessarily a specific date when we will remove our troops.
How much blame do you put on the Republican Party over the last 10 years for the situation that we're in, economically, militarily, our reputation in the world?
A great deal of blame. Whenever a party's in the majority, they're in the driving seat of our nation. And both parties have been responsible for the level of deficits we've seen. Both parties are responsible for this record deficit we're in now. Blame can go around. There's plenty of it to go around for all of us. I will not blame a single party or a single president. But what I can say is that as a Republican, I am deeply saddened by the squandering of our brand. I feel strongly that the Republican Party should be a party of fiscal discipline, fiscal responsibility, and that is something that we have seen lacking in some administrations. And that's something I'd like to see return to our brand, and that's what I stand for as a Malcolm Derk Republican. I feel that that's what I can bring to the table. I'm a committed fiscal conservative.
Others have said that, and they get in.
Absolutely. I would say look at my voting record at the county level, and I know I can promise you what I will do when I get there. And if I vary from that brand, I fully expect you to call me out on it, and I fully expect the voters to replace me with someone that respects their values.
What about term limits?
I'm in favor of term limits. Personally, I would say a 12-year is the absolute max that a person could serve. I am not sure ultimately how long I would be in Congress, but I could tell you I wouldn't be in more than 12 years. It's a difficult place to be, and it's not something that I feel our founding fathers wanted someone to sit there for 30 years and occupy a chair. And certainly I think one of the biggest problems our nation has is when we have a seniority-driven process and individuals that have been here a long period of time get more than anyone else, that's a problem, because we're all paying for these services. There's no reason that a congressman that's been there 30 years should get more of the pie than someone who's only been there 4. I think that's something that is really a problem for our country, because we see over and over those people that have been there longest amass more and more power than everyone else. If you're a representative in Congress, there should be equality among those members. Everyone is there representing the same number of people. there's no reason that one person should have more power than another.